Great question.
Does anyone want to jump in there?
It's amazing, it's fun, it's dynamic, and it's intense, and it's just a completely different way of creating than the way that this reality tells you you should do business or create an event, I would imagine.
So Diva and Paul, what class are you guys working on right now?
So we're doing a 2 and 3 in Dublin from the 12th to the 15th of March. So everybody's totally welcome to come to Ireland. It's a rocking country, and it's just Paddy's Day. So if you want to come along for Paddy's Day celebration, you're going to have lots of fun as well. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting. We're really looking forward to it. And there's looks like there's going to be a really strong international component.
Nice. So a lot of the classes in Europe end up being translated. Now this 2-3 in Ireland is not, right?
There's going to be translation in Ireland, definitely.
Okay, so Lisa, can you talk some about the translation part of this business? Because this is handled so different and is a huge puzzle, really.
It is, because we have, I don't know how many countries we have in Europe, but we have a lot of different languages, and of course people want to understand the class when they come to Dane and Gary, and other classes of course as well. And what we try to provide is that there is simultaneous translation now. Before it was different setup, so people really, they have a little headset and they are in the class and can receive the information and whatever Dane and Gary are talking about directly, and it's really cool to see how much people appreciate that and are willing to come from everywhere to be in the class. And yes, it's a puzzle because we need really great translators, and it's not necessarily that they are professional translators. We have some of them as well, but there's sometimes people just unlock this ability of being able to translate directly, and a couple of the translators were like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, they needed translation. And then they started coming to class, receiving translations, and now they end up being translators. That's very cool to see. So most classes in Europe, we have translation, up to 10 languages, more like 5 usually, but up to 10 languages are being translated in class. So if people want to come and they want translation, let the host know. We will see what we can do to have translation in the class as well.
Which is so amazing. Really, your request and demand is a part of the creation of the class. And it is wild to be in the room with like 10 or 12 languages going on simultaneously. If you have not been to a class in Europe with translation, it is definitely something to get to.
Yes.
Francesca, you work a lot with translated classes too. And what class are you working on right now?
So now I'm working on facilitators in Venice. They're starting on the 20th of March until the 24th. And then in your class, the setting out Right Voice for You just was facilitators. That will be translated as well. And then just right after, on the 25th, the Maestro class, the SOP Maestro class with Dr. Dane here, this special new class that will be handled from the 25th of December until the 28th, or anyway, 4 days. And now, yeah.
I have to ask you, Francesca, is it hard? You have a tough job of all these hosts. Is it hard to lure people to Venice?
It's hard.
Is it hard to lure people to Venice? I mean, that must be extra hard as a host.
You know, it's been so. Now, actually, it's the 3rd time I'm hosting here in Venice. And we are a team, so I'm not alone. That's great. So all of you and the people here in Italy. And the first time that I hosted here a class was quite intense because we organized in just 2 months. This class was 11, 2, and 3. Everyone was like, Venice, it's a very tourist city. So, you know, find place, accommodation for everyone has been intense. But actually using the tool of Access, asking questions, what can I do, what can I be, who can I... Also, I found the phenomenal, beautiful venue that we are hosting this class in, is the Old Palace, just asking questions. I say, who can I meet that will allow me to find a beautiful one? And then one day I phoned, and a friend of mine was in the other part of the phone, and I say, yes, I'm the director of this hotel. So it's... and now I can say that it's more easy. to host the
I'm
class.
sort of giving you a hard time. I get logistically Venice is tricky. You should see Francesca with barges on the water hauling in tables. It is a logistical magic feat. But I don't know anyone who doesn't want to come to Venice. So trying to get people to come there.
Now we have 200 people. But I have to tell you, you know, a secret. I was born here. So for me, it's normal. It's my city. And with the access tool, too, everything is with more ease. Yeah.
It truly is a treat to experience Venice with Francesca. She knows all of the local pasta makers and has connections with people where to stay. She knows every shopkeeper in town. If you come to Venice on her watch, I promise it's going to be an adventure.
Yeah, everyone is welcome, and thank you. Because with you guys and with Access people, also Venice became different, and I'm wondering what would it be after March? So any March. So everyone is welcome to come, please, and have fun with us.
Better than that.
Yeah.
Megan, you work on a lot of classes in the States, and I know Daria does as well, and in Canada. Can you talk a little bit about creating classes in the States, how things are different, and just sort of what's going on here right now?
Sure. You know, it's really funny. I got an email from someone saying that we needed to stop in more places because we're only stopping in like California and Texas. And I'm like, well, we actually stop all over the world. So the fact that they're going to 2 cities in California and then also to Houston, encouraging people to travel is one of the things I think that is not necessarily a challenge, but it's part of the event itself. And who wouldn't want to go to San Diego and San Francisco and even Houston in the winter? It may not be, you know, sunny and 80, but it's definitely warmer than most of North America. So it's a lot of fun. It's fun to see how many people actually do travel, and then it's also fun to meet all the locals and just the different energies that every city has. Every city is very different, so that's part of the joy.
I think we get a little spoiled over here in North America going, well, why are you coming to my city? And we have other countries, you know, India begged for years for a class. Turkey has been begging for the boys to come back. So in America, we're like, well, why didn't you come to where I live?
Right. And Americans seem to like to, you know, to kind of stay where they are. And I think one of the greatest joys of hosting classes and then also opening up your world is getting to travel. It's a reason. Vacations now, if you don't have something to do, for me personally, are very boring. I got to go to Venice last year for one of the classes, and what you were saying about Francesca, I can't imagine going to that city without having her. I got to take a water taxi from the airport, and that's just something you wouldn't necessarily know unless you had the inside scoop from her. So you feel very taken care of. I don't speak the language, so it can be very scary to go to a country where you have no clue what's going on, and she just takes care of you every step of the way. So we do attempt to do that here in the U.S. at the U.S. classes. All of the hosts are very good at helping you find locations. If the hotel venue is booked, we help you get rooms. We help you find transportation. Gosha is on, and she's helping me with the San Diego class. She's phenomenal. She just takes care of every single person that registers, and there's over 100 people coming. So it's a huge task, but I think we all love it, and it's just part of the joy of creating for us and getting to know you. And if you're new and considering coming to a class, if you have any questions, all of us here can help. You can email us, and we'll take care of you.
It's so true. They hook people up with roommates and help you figure out how to get from the airport. It can be overwhelming. I'm going to India as my next trip, and dealing with the visas and then getting from one airport to another, and then the transfer company to get to the palace. And there's been Facebook groups with like people answering my questions. I've been on so many trips around the world now, and I still just go, oh gosh, there's all these logistics pieces, and I find our hosts are amazing with really helping people with all that stuff to make the actual travel easy.
Yep.
Well, Cool. So Daria, I know that you have put together, we've been pitching some of the Vancouver classes like a little winter wonderland. Occasionally with classes there's sort of extra activities people help plan. Do you want to talk a little bit about what's going on in Vancouver?
Oh my God. It's so interesting because when we called our tour Winter Wonderland, three hosts, Maruda, Carolina, and I looked at each other and go, we might not have any snow in Vancouver. And here I am covered in snow right now. Outside of Vancouver, though. But I think snow is coming to Vancouver as well. So we are having the Winter Wonderland. And it's been amazing to, well, first of all, I'd like to say that it's been amazing experience hosting people from all over the world. There's people coming to Vancouver. We had people come from Italy and Dublin last year, and this year we're having some coming as well from Europe. So we're very excited to meet people and just having a different culture, and that's what Vancouver is about. Vancouver is really a welcoming place for everybody. I haven't seen many other North American cities that way. Vancouver's been basically created like that. You see every single culture in there.
How does it get better than that? Well, now that we're pitching cities, Paul and Diva, tell us what you got. Why bother coming to Ireland?
Ireland is absolutely awesome. So definitely come to Ireland. And the timing is perfect. So it's 2 days before St. Patrick's Day, which is our National Saints Day. So there's going to be a huge parade, huge celebration. So you can
drink Guinness.
Yeah, drink Guinness. You can actually visit the brewery. So that's only around 10 minutes. So anybody who likes beer, which is a lot of people, I hope, you can go there and just experience the fantastic warmth of Irish people. I think it'll be really good. And I'd like to just speak to the new people who've maybe just started doing Access, because I'm very new to Access as well. And it's been just an incredible experience. And my advice is just to jump into it and go for it, because stepping into one of the big classes can seem a little bit daunting, but just really go for it. They're wonderful people, really friendly. You get so much from it. And everybody wants to help you, so just really step into it.
Yeah, and I do have to say also about Ireland, I only landed here about 6 months ago, and I've traveled all over the world, and I've lived in many, many countries. And the moment that I set foot in Ireland, I was like, wow, this feels like somewhere that I could call home, in the sense that the people were so welcoming, so friendly. People like smile here, which if you're from no, that's strange. But also, like, you know, the land has like this amazing magical energy of like contribution and generation and wealth, and it's just such a phenomenal place. For me, Ireland was always one of those places that I wanted to visit and never really got round to. But as soon as I did, I was like, wow, how come I didn't come here sooner? So yeah, we would love to, you know, just show you guys around. Obviously, Paul knows Ireland more than I do.
Yeah, and there's some awesome surfing on the west coast of Ireland. So if anyone wants to bring a surfboard, I'm glad to take them over to the west coast of Ireland. It's beautiful. It's great fun. Yeah, definitely. Come along. Come along.
Nice.
Can I just add, Blossom, real quick? You know, we're celebrating the Global Access, you know, Bars Day. And I think one of the gifts that I didn't really get until my first class is how fun it is to actually run bars throughout the entire class, and you get all this body work that if you haven't ever been to a class, that's part of why I keep going, because you literally can take 4 days or 3 days or however long the class is and just nurture your body, and you have all this energetic change, and it's so cool, and you literally walk out with a totally new world. So for all the classes, that's my little invitation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. And just meeting people all around the world. I mean, it's so fun to just know, even this Google Hangout, you guys are all in different places, and I go, wow, I never would have imagined I would have friends around the world, people who had my back around the world, even people whose names I don't know, who I know I've run bars with or done body work with, who there's a connection and communion, and it's really amazing. Have any of you been traveling more since you started Access?
Yes. Wow, a lot.
Actually,
lot.
That'll be a
something
yes,
about
Ted.
that. A year ago, Jonas, one of the worldwide coordinators for Access Consciousness, and I had a conversation, and I looked at him and I said, I wish I could travel as much as you. And he looked at me, he said, you might want to ask a question about it, but I don't know if you want to do that as much traveling. And I was asking, what energy, space, and consciousness can our body be to travel all over the world with total ease? And last year, every single month, I have been traveling to some place. It's been amazing. Don't use questions. Don't create.
Gosha, is there anything you want to jump in here and add? I know your life hasn't changed at all.
Thank you. Can I add some? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Francesca.
Oh, go ahead, Gosia. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, I love listening to your conversation, and I yes to every one of you. And what the original question about creating the classes, what's the most beautiful energy for me? It's to create this excitement, this energy of everybody's so looking forward to going. It's like they have the energy of creating something very different for their life, for their future, and they can perceive that in their universe, and then they're going, and everybody's just so excited. And sometimes after the class, people go through different stages of ups and downs, but everybody is different. Everybody is creating their life from different space. And I love just seeing the smiley faces, happy people coming and hugging. And I love the closeness, the nurturing of the bodies in all the classes is just so amazing. And I'm so used to touching bodies, and I'm so used to hugging that, when I'm outside in the normal world, it's kind of weird because people look at me little funny, and it's like, oh, I forgot, you don't do that, right? It's not really appropriate to be touching and hugging, and men think I'm flirting, and women think maybe I'm flirting too.
So far, Mad Men has won too many awards to mention, but let's face it, the best part of the show.
This computer is doing all sorts of things today. We've got pop-ups and spinning wheels, and hold on, I've just muted you guys for a minute while we try to figure out how to make this commercial go away. And we are stuck on a spinning wheel. So
that is funny.
How does it get better than this?
The collection interpreted by the looks of Mad Men.
We are frozen officially listening to a Mad Men commercial or something. So, we may, this computer has no sign of stopping spinning, so we may be ending our hosting Google Hangout 1 minute earlier than we had planned. But I really just want to thank all of the hosts for creating these classes around the world, for working in the way you do, for it is obviously a labor of love, and that is evident in any class you go to, that the hosts are truly there because they love the work, they love what they do, and they love to create with us. So thank you guys all, and hopefully we will get to visit some of your beautiful cities really soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're giving up on
They give up.